how did I make van life real life? Today I'll reveal the steps I took to make my dreams come true. Also, how I'm able to do this. We'll talk about the hot button issue, money, and how van life all came about for me. I was about to start filming this week's YouTube video, and then I looked in the van. There is crap everywhere. So I just got back from Taos, New Mexico and Denver. You have to consciously take a few hours to unpack and put everything back. Well, you would think that would be easier in a van. You have a very small amount of space. And it is easier. I haven't made the conscious effort to do this yet. These are all my dirty clothes. Well, no, these are some of the dirty clothes. These are my dirty clothes from my trip. Oh, I'm back on the peanut butter bars, guys. I ran out of toilet paper, so I'm using tissue paper. I haven't even taken the trash out. There's camera equipment everywhere. My new window coverings everywhere, which check out my new window coverings. Okay, so now that it took me half the day to clean the van, and then I kind of got like wrapped up into it, so then I went and did laundry at the laundromat, and I started scrubbing the counters and scrubbing the faces of the cabinets. We are on the next day of filming this. In a few minutes, I'm gonna reveal to you the steps I took to create van life, to make van life real life for me. But first, I promised you that I would talk about how I get mail. So let's go over that really quick. I have a bunch of fast track, that's the tolls in California, invoices, which I need to pay. So I have a PO box here in San Diego because I do have to come back to San Diego once a month to work. So if it's not an important package that I don't need immediately right then I'll just ship it to my PO box and get it when I can. If there is an item that I need right then I'll ship it to me. So here's what I do. I go on USPS.com and I search general delivery. I will type in my location. For instance, I have my backcountry package sent to San Francisco. It's a free service. You just have to go to USPS, go to the postal service in that town, in that city, and you pick up your package. Okay, so now let's start the story. You've been asking me, what are the steps you took to make this real? It was hard, and I had to have tunnel vision, and I had to have determination. You get pushback from your family, you get pushback from your parents. They hear, what? You're gonna live in a van? You're gonna travel in a van? They make housing for a reason. That's so unsafe. For me, I couldn't handle sitting at the same desk, staring at the same wall, in the same apartment, day after day after day. This is making me feel crazy. This is making me feel like crawling out of my skin. It was too mundane. It was too structured. It was too much conformity. It wasn't thrilling for me. And something I've noticed about my life is that I can't stay in one place too long. I have to get out. Like, I'm just crawling up the walls. It was even harder for me because I actually knew there was a difference. I think when you don't know there's a difference, you don't know the options out there. By then, I had already started my own video production company, which allowed me to have freedom. It didn't dictate that I needed to stay in one place. So this is where we dive into the money part. My contract with the hospital, how it's set up, well, excuse me, how it was set up. It's no longer that way. I received a bulk payment from the hospital for a set amount of videos. I was able to kind of go through where I could not spend money, where I could spend money. If you don't have rent, then you can move that money over to a van payment and to building out the van. I was able to finance the van. I believe it's 7 years and it's 1.9% APR. And then I structured my money to have enough to pay for materials out of pocket. And my only monthly expenses at the time, food and rent. To be honest, I think this is the root. Growing up, my father, this is bad. Growing up, my father told me, never commit to something you can't leave in 10 minutes. So I didn't have a lot of stuff and I don't have a lot of baggage because if I did, then I couldn't leave it in 10 minutes. And there's probably deeper psychological issues there, but that's for another video. I've never had like a big overhead home mortgage. I've never had a big car payment. Actually, this was the first really big one that I've ever had. As far as any debt, I didn't have any debt. I had already paid off all of my college student loans. I have a credit card, one credit card, but I pay off the statement every month. What I have found works for me with each large lifestyle leap is this. I print out each month. I'll give myself about 4 to 5 months and I'll print out each month on a piece of paper, a calendar month. Like I'll pick, a day a week and I'll say, contact your landlord to give your notice this day. Check out prices of storage units. And I will slowly but surely do those and check those off. That way, I don't feel overwhelmed, I don't feel bombarded all at once, and then just feel like that anxiety within you, like, oh my God, I have so much to do. How am I gonna ever accomplish this? The only other thing I had to do was sell my car and set up a P.O. box. I know I'm making it sound easier than it was. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It was a hell of a process. My situation is fortunate, but I wouldn't call it luck. I worked my ass off. I worked hard for many, many years, 7 years, right out of college, to get to have freedom in my life, to get to this place. So it wasn't like I was ever handed money, or I just woke up one day and said, I own a video production company and I can edit videos wherever. Okay, so once I hiked the Pacific Crest Trail in 2015, that is when my life changed, at least my overall life, but for sure, the way I viewed life. So shortly after finishing the PCT, I moved to La Jolla and found VANLIFE on Instagram. At that time, I think there were only 3 accounts that were popular. I would spend my days daydreaming about how I would design my van, and I would even have restless nights of like, what are the steps that I'm gonna put in place to do this? And then I researched the shit out of everything. You know, between the new sprinters, between the older sprinters, because they don't have the DEF emissions. I became very clear on which van I wanted through a lot of research. I believe I researched this for about a year. You can research all day long. You can have research hold you back. You can say, oh, I don't know if I can do this because I have to research that. You can't Google, how will my life turn out? You gotta stop typing on your computer and get up and go do. That's the day I ripped the Band-Aid off. So I drove to every Mercedes dealership in Southern California. I checked out their inventory, the colors of their sprinters. I checked out their prices to kind of see, you know, who had a better price. The most amount margin that someone would cut was about $4,000. The best sprinter prices I found were at Mercedes-Benz of Beverly Hills. However, they didn't have the color I wanted. I was set on having a black or graphite van. At the time, there were only 2 black sprinters left on the market. They were in Chicago and San Francisco. I flew up to San Francisco after I negotiated the price on the phone with the dealership, and I bought this sprinter. I used to have a ton of freedom with VANLIFE. I used to not worry about writing captions. I used to not worrying about filming this video. I used to just like worry about 2 videos for the hospital per month and just go explore and not really ever be on my computer or on my phone or sitting in one place. But that's changed quite a lot since these social media pages have become popular, because now I feel like I'm just sitting in front of the computer all the time in my van in different places, and I'm not really exploring as much. And I just say, so is the season. So is this season in my life until the next season comes, and we'll see how that takes a different shape. As of 2 weeks ago, I had only made $300 in my whole lifespan of social media. Moving forward, I will be partnering with brands, only brands that I strongly believe in, and that way I'm also making money for the time that I'm spending creating these YouTube videos, which these YouTube videos take me about 4 days. I want to know, did this video inspire you to stop researching and just rip off the Band-Aid and start VANLIFE, or really start whatever your dream is to make your dream a reality? This coming Saturday, November 10th, let's meet in San Diego. Come meet me at Fiesta Island between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. If you need more details, I'm going to be posting them this week on Instagram, or you can follow the VANLIFE app, because those are the wonderful ladies who are hosting this meetup. As for next Sunday's video, next week's video, I need your vote. Do you want to know how I stay safe in my Sprinter, or how much I've spent in maintenance costs so far? My Sprinter has about 46,000 miles on it. After you vote, I need to know the questions that you want to know for your vote. So don't forget to tell me in the comments below. See you next Sunday, 7 p.m. West Coast time. I wish you safe travels this week.